to the Best Damn Podcast. I'm your host, John Keene. As always, I would like to thank you guys for joining me. Ask that you please add, follow, and check us out, www.spreaker.com/user/Best Damn Podcast. Also, if you're watching here on YouTube, please make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to click that bell. And guys, as some of you are probably aware, with our PayPal down right now, we need your help more than ever right now. We're at the end of this month and going into the start of a new. The PayPal is out and it's really killed us, so we need your support. If you could, please consider donating and supporting us at venmo.com/bestdampodcast. That's venmo.com/bestdampodcast. Or you can become a patron for $1 a month at patreon.com/bestdampodcast. And you don't have to be a monthly pledge. You can also do what's called a lifetime pledge and do one time. That's patreon.com/bestdampodcast. Or we also have a link on my Facebook page at our Facebook fundraiser. All the links will be in the description. Plus, they will be pinned in the comment section at the top. Like I said, the PayPal is down, so we may have to take a little hiatus at the beginning of next month if we can't, gather the support we need because of what's happened. We've sent the documents in that we needed to send, but we don't know if they're going to accept them and how long it's going to take for that process or whatever. So guys, we are really asking that if you enjoy this show, you enjoy this content, please help us out. Consider supporting one of those ways today. Do not donate to PayPal right now. Just Venmo, Patreon, or the Facebook fundraiser. Now guys, I wanted to make a quick video proving Planet X. I did a live stream last night and had some trouble with the audio, so we're going to show some pictures here, a few videos as well, for you guys to see exactly how real this thing is. First and foremost, I wanted to start off with a short video of footage of Planet X through a telescope. Now, to me, you see so many people that talk about Planet X and, oh, you can't prove Planet X, right? It can't be proven. You can't see it through a telescope. Well, that, my friends, is false. And we're going to prove that right now through our first video. You can find this on the Crow777 channel. And he does exactly that. Shows you through a telescope with a lens made specifically for looking at the sun. Does it on 2 different days, and then it's followed by another guy who takes shots on 2 different days, and look and see what they find through the telescope.
All right, man, welcome to the Crow Discovery Project. It's been a long time since I've posted one of these, and I will be ganging up with some other people and posting more scope footage as the warm weather approaches here. I've recovered from my surgery. I should be able to heft that scope again. What we have here is confirmation of the double sun by another individual. First footage you're going to see here is my footage. Hydrogen alpha scope with a double stack, a solar max. That is the sun you see with your eyes. Okay, I'm going to pan around here, and that's lens flare, legitimate lens flare that you're seeing there. There's the sun you see with your eyes. And in a second here, oh, I need to go the other way. There's lens flare. There we go. Watch the top. You'll see a little thing go by. This is the first time in the spring of 2016 that I discovered the double sun. There's the sun we see with our eyes. I'm still scanning around. I'm going to scan back over and find the other object for the first time. There it is, top of frame. This is the sun we do not see with our eyes. Now, I was afraid to post this for a long time. You're going to see that it will blur out. I'll mess with focus. I put a huge wrapping paper tube over the end of the Solar Max scope. When you see the disturbance over the face of this, that's what's going on. I'm trying to prove that this isn't lens flare, but all those there, right there. I also take my hand and I do light blocking over the end of the scope, which ironically, the gentleman who I'm about to introduce to you, who you should all go sub, saw this footage way back in 2016, and he replicated what I did, which I'm going to show you here in a minute, which is proof positive. Another individual doing it. Scanning back, there's a little bit of lens flare. There's the real sun that we see with our eyes in the bottom of frame coming back into frame. Now I'm going to load another clip that I shot. I think I did this 3 or 4 days in a row, coming back to try to confirm this. Now here's a new clip. There's the sun you see with your eyes. That is legitimate lens flare right there. Scan out. There's the sun we don't see with our eyes on a new day. I'm confirming it once again. In a minute here, I'm going to load footage from a gentleman called Chris Van Mater.
A new day, 2 different days, him showing through a telescope.
In the pudding, but he did something more. In one of the clips, you're going to see a telephone line going in front of the sun we do not see, which is also proof in itself. Again, there's the sun we see. Here comes Chris's footage. There's the name of his channel. You should all go up and sub.
And if you notice in the second footage of Chris's, it's later on, and our sun is way more pink because of the second sun being so much close in proximity.
In spring, what I did. Here comes another clip by Chris on a new day. There is the sun we do not see with our eyes with a telephone wire in his field of view. When he scans back over to the regular sun, it's not there. There's the sun we see with our eyes. And again, we're back to my footage here. There's the sun we see. There's the sun we do not see without a Hydra Alpha scope with a double stack or a full spectrum camera. I will say that it is my contention this second object can be detected in visual spectrum with just normal tools at sunrise and sunset. Here comes the sun we see. So as we warm up here, I'm going to be pairing off with some people to do more work on the sun here.
He said it could be determined in visual spectrum, right? Visual spectrum as well. And I wonder if people are catching it, right? It appears as if they are, right? This would be visual spectrum. This would be what you would be seeing through just a regular old camera, right? Which are a little more sensitive than our eyes. But at nighttime, what are people seeing? Fire in the sky, right? What is this thing always described as whenever you hear talk of the destroyer, right? Fire and smoke preceding the great and terrible day of the Lord. Fire and brimstone, right? This doom planet, the destroyer, always depicted as burning. You can see the 2 wings burning off the side in both of these shots right here. And this would be the visual spectrum. And what you're going to see in the pictures as well, and the still shots that I've got for you guys, you're going to see the same thing. You're going to see some that appear to have fire, and then during the day you're going to see the red one, you know, a little bit closer now because time has passed since Crow 77's video, but yet we still see it nonetheless. So to all of your friends that are naysayers and just, you know, don't believe in this, somehow think that it's all just a big hoax and, you know, a sham, right? Maybe you can show them this video and say, look, there it is through a telescope. Here it is burning in the night sky, right? And here it is in photos as well. The Best Damn Podcast is showing it to you. And, you know, I've literally watched this thing for years. I watched it go from a little tiny dot out in the space to what we're seeing now, right? To where this thing is burning across the night sky. I mean, look at that. That's incredible. That's incredible. And the only reason I decided to make this video is because the audio was messed up on the live stream I did last night. So I wanted to, you know, delete that and be able to bring something that was clear. That way you guys would have something to share around and, something that shows absolute proof, absolute evidence. There's your fire and brimstone right there. There's the tail of the dragon right there, right? That is your twirling, spinning tail, right? Always low on the horizon. There's a nighttime shot, same thing, right? That's what they say will be the main problem for us, right? That we will pass through this, debris field, this tail that's, some 4 million, 20 million miles behind it out in space, right? There's another good shot of it, right? That's hot rocks, y'all. That's hot rocks. That's fire and brimstone. That's what that is, right? No doubt about it. And, what's funny is these events are said to happen 5 months apart, 150 days each time. The first event, so I don't know if this will be us passing through the tail one time around and back, 5 months apart, and what we'll experience here on planet Earth. But we know that it will result in, most definitely result in several calamities, right? We know that the ocean levels, the sea levels are already rising. We know that we're already seeing seismic activity, volcanic activity increase at a phenomenal rate, unlike anything we've ever seen. And I've got some charts and stuff I want to go over and show you guys before we end this episode, just to kind of show a little bit of the proof as well to go along with the visual. And I mean, how's it always described, right? A ruddy red glow, right? Billowing clouds of smoke, changing in color, ever so present, right? And this is what we're seeing, right? This is what we're seeing over and over, right? The same thing that is described in the Colburn when it's talking about the Doom Planet, right? And if you look at biblical times, and look at that one. That one's just, that is a haunting image, if you ask me, right? It's like the eyes of the destroyer staring straight at you, right? Anytime that we, hear this mentioned, man, you look at biblical times and the Great Flood, the Deluge, that's said to be like a good passing when we were on the far side of the sun. That's like best case scenario. The reason this one is, known for its doom, so to speak, is because this is a worst case scenario situation. We are actually going to be closer to it than we were the last time or two that this thing came around. And you say, well, wouldn't you see like proof in other areas? Well, yes, you would. You would see it in the form of magnetic anomalies and stuff as well, right? So let's check this out from Planet X News. You are going to see in this video, you're going to see major push on the magnetosphere, what appears to be an object sitting behind the magnetosphere. You're going to see the reversion of polarity of the magnetosphere. This one is crazy, so check it. you can see here those arrows, like I was talking about, going in the opposite direction. You can see the bow shock. You can see the incredible pressure. The color showing you from blue to red. I mean, it's just phenomenal what we are seeing happening to the magnetosphere. And this is on every level. We're seeing the different pressure. This is coming from more than the sun. This is, proof on every level that this is real and that this is happening, right? And if we want to take this a step further here, let's go ahead and pull up some more stuff for you guys to see, a few more graphics here. This comes from the research of Gil Broussard, right? Planet 7X estimated position. If it were, the arrival would be March of 2021, right? Showing you here. The Earth's continental crust. This is talking about the fire and brimstone as we go through the tale. The Bible predicts the side that North America is on. If we look at the first paragraph of Revelations 8, 7 through 11 with a scientific point of view, we find that he's describing a meteor storm impacting 1/3 of the continental crust, trees, grass, and rivers. And if we look at the globe of the Earth, we would see that Europe, Asia, Africa consist 2/3 of the landmass on one half of the planet, and North and South America consist of 1/3 of the landmass on the other half. It is biblically apparent the impact zone will be the half of the Earth with North and South America. It says that science, the scientific community, will actually predict this side, but the Bible says it's our side. The Great Tribulation, as described, is showing you all of the different passings and the stages of the passing of Planet X on its orbit. And each of the bowls, the wrath bowls, the sun blackened, right? These great earthquakes, all of this, the first event happening March 2021. Pointing to Planet 7X, looking in our solar system right here. Saturn, major decrease in equatorial jet stream velocities. Pluto, over 300% increase in atmospheric pressure. Uranus, big change in brightness. Increased global cloud activity. Mercury, unexpected solar ice discovered, along with surprisingly strong intrinsic magnetic field. The moon, it's growing in atmosphere. The sun, as reportedly since 1901, the overall magnetic field has become stronger by 130%. Mars, global warming, huge storms, disappearance of the ice caps. Neptune, 40% increase in atmospheric brightness. Venus, over 2,500% increase in auroral brightness. Jupiter, 200% increase in brightness. Surrounding plasma clouds. Huge belts of the giant planet's atmosphere have changed color. Radiation hotspots. And the Earth, of course, substantial and obvious worldwide weather, geophysical changes, Earth axis has changed, and the overall volcanic activity has increased 500% from 1875 to 1975, while the earthquake activity has increased by 400% since 1973. I mean, that in itself is showing you the count of the worldwide earthquakes, magnitude 2.0 or greater per month. And this is from November 1st of 2004 to March 31st of 2017. Just look at that. Look at that chart. It's incredible, right? A lot of people believe that World War III will coincide with Planet X because this will be a land grab for minerals, right? And these are the 5 mountain passes that Russia has to capture in the next war. And that's why you see them in expansion mode, right? All the own asteroids since 2018. U.S. maps of quakes on plate boundaries. All the stuff we're seeing in Oklahoma, right? Part of the new Madrid. Then what we see in California, right? San Andreas, Cascadia, all the action there, right? And the Washington Post was actually part of the CIA propaganda program, right? You can see this article here, right? Pretty crazy. Mystery heavenly body discovered. Heavenly body possibly as large as the planet Jupiter and possibly so close to Earth it would be part of the solar system has been found in the direction of the constellation Orion by an orbiting telescope aboard the U.S. infrared astronomical satellite. So mysterious is the object that astronomers do not know if it is a planet, a giant comet, a nearby protostar that never got hot enough to become a star, a distant galaxy so young that it's still in the process of forming its first stars or galaxy, so shrouded in dust that none of the light cast by its stars ever get through. All I can tell you is that we don't know what it is, Dr. Jerry Neubauer, IRAS Chief Scientist for California's Jet Laboratory Propulsion and Director of Palomar Observatory for California Institute Technology, said in an interview. The most fascinating explanation of this mystery body is it's so cold it casts no light and has never been seen by optical telescope or Earth or in space. It is that it's a giant gaseous planet as large as Jupiter and as close to Earth as 50 billion miles. While that may seem like a great distance in earthbound terms, it's a stone's throw in cosmological terms. So close, in fact, that it would be the nearest heavenly body to Earth beyond the outermost planet Pluto. If it's that close, it would be part of our solar system. And that is from the Washington Post, guys. Right? Ex-military intel taking government advice to move to the Ozarks. Why is that? Well, if you look at the New Madrid earthquakes, right, from extreme to moderate, where that's going to be, right? You see what's going on here in this area as well. It appears that the Ozarks are the exact place you would like to be, right? Moscow, warm weather. Remember the Planet X date, March 2021. The warm season in March for Russia. So, potential joint attack from Russia, Iran, radical Islam, and China. When we see financial crisis first, then expect attack from our enemies. The exact time that we expect to see Planet X is the exact warm season and precise time that Russia would be for an ideal time to attack the U.S. You see the shifting demographics for, the Axis countries as well. Also, New Madrid, looking pretty rough there. The estimated orbital path, 2021 being the date here, right? You guys can see, showing you as this thing makes its appearance in October of 2020 is when we'll be able to start seeing this thing in the sky. And we'll show you that's exactly what we're seeing. Yellowstone, this is the Yellowstone danger zone here for if Yellowstone goes off, right? The American Meteor Society reports of fireballs from 2006 to 2019. Just look at that increase, right? New Madrid earthquake, the total eclipse, marking an X across the United States. Just so happens to be where we're seeing all this seismic activity, right? And possible Yellowstone supervolcano eruption, the kill zone, primary ash zone, secondary ash zone, add in the New Madrid. There's not a whole lot of the United States left, guys. Not a whole lot left, right? And like I said, we will look at some other pictures as well. Looking at the sky, seeing, look at that blood red in the background, plasma. Look, big giant body. Big shelf cloud coming through, right? This also appearing to be a body, right? Look at this. Over New York, some of these have contrast brought out volcanic eruption, but what you see over top of it, right? Sprites. This is plasmatic discharge burning the methane in the atmosphere, right? Look at that. Look at that, guys. And they said we'd start be able to see it October 2020 in the skies. And I'm going to show you some pictures where you can see this thing crystal clear. Crystal clear. We've seen it through the telescope. Now you're seeing it in pictures. Right? You've seen the information concerning it. Right? We're seeing, 40 new near-Earth objects discovered per week. Right? We're supposed to have a big one around Christmas time. That's going to pass pretty close to the Earth. Look at this plasma right here. What do you think is causing all this? Right? The news isn't going to tell you. The news isn't going to give you the truth. Right? You can't count on them, to give you the truth. And the thing is, they're deplatforming, demonetizing, and censoring channels like myself, making it impossible for us to give you the truth. You see the shadows? That's being blocked out. The sun's being blocked out by an object. Right? Look, right here. Look how big that puppy is, right in the sky, for all eyes to see. Right, 2 flares, 2 objects. There it is again. 2 objects, 2 flares. Look at this. This is in Bulgaria. Right there. Look. Ooh, looks like a big planet. Imagine that. Another one, big magnetic anomaly, big egg-shaped planet. We've seen that egg quite a few times, haven't we? Look at that coming up over the horizon. 2 objects, 2 flares. 2 objects, 2 flares. Right, these are what people believe are the lensing systems. Right, this is just taken a couple weeks ago. You can see the big crack in it. This is isotome, I believe. There's the flare or the reflection. It's visible in the sky. Right, multiple suns visible in the sky. Multiple objects visible in the sky. This is taken about a week ago, week and a half ago. Red object above the sun. Look at that one. Wow, that is just crazy right there. That is just crazy. That gives you a real idea of what you're working with right there, guys. Right? And he said it would be visible October 2020, according to Gil Broussard, and Crow77 said we'd be able to see it with just a regular camera. And what are we seeing? Right? Look at this giant shadow. And then look, you can even see the shadow on the ground. It's at the South Pole. Right? Infrared. And there you go. This is taken just a few days ago. Right? Look at this, guys. This is Cincinnati, Ohio. Look at that. Right there, guys. For all eyes to see. No tricks, little lens. Right? 3 suns. Right? See the sky lit up. No tricks. No tricks at all. Right? None needed. There's none needed. Right? Nobody has to exaggerate anything that we're seeing anymore. Right? Because it's so obvious. It's so obvious. And this is the California fires. And look at the sky there. We was talking about how the magma was coming off the planets, causing the fires. Right? You guys see this, the horizons just look like they're on fire with the hot pink tint as well. Planet right there. Right? Look at that. Right? And so many people want to deny this, man. So many people want to deny it. Instead of making people aware and preparing people, they want to keep people in the dark and get as many people killed as possible. It's really, really sad. It's really sad, right? We noticed that the magnetic field is weakened. We've lost over 30% of the magnetic field. Check this out here. Magnetic north migrating towards Siberia, magnetic south moving out of Antarctica, right? We are seeing the different changes, right? Seismic activity, volcanic activity. We see, all the lightning and plasma in the atmosphere, right? Sinkholes, wildfires, flooding, mudslides, landslides, typhoons, tropical storms, tropical cyclones, tsunamis. I mean, hurricanes, you name it, guys. We are seeing it. We are on the cusp of, even more radical changes. It just continues to increase. I mean, it's so obvious, right? It's so obvious. There wouldn't be this many pictures right here, right? The sun's here. See object there, up there. I mean, what the hell is going on? That's too many objects, right? Too many objects. And that looks like a blue sun right there. Could that be the blue Kachina? Quite possibly, right? Here's a picture right there. Same thing, right? Plasma discharge in the night sky, right? Look at this. This is when I believe the blue Kachina started first making its appearance. Had major electrical storms. This is about a year or so ago. Look at that. Look at that big mass, right? Very, very crazy. Very crazy. And I'll show you a video of a giant electrical discharge from Planet X News as well. It's going to make you, the sun shooting off electrical discharges like you wouldn't believe, right? And this is all proof. All proof. Look at that, right? All proof. Right? There's no denying it at this point. And you can bury your head in the sand or you can get prepared, right? And we know that this is the purifier coming to rid the earth of negativity and evil, meaning we got to get on the frequency of love, right? Frequency of love. The meek shall inherit the earth. And that will happen. That will be true. So all those not in the frequency of love they'll be vaporized, right? They'll be vaporized. You see the smoke in the sky, the chemtrails, right? Look, once again, big shadows from bodies that are blocking out the sun, right? You can't make this up, man. You cannot make this up. Breakdowns in the matrix, literally. The magnetic field, Schumann resonance, seeing us disconnected from the alpha waves, which is why animals will attack and men will go crazy in the last days. We're discovering all types of things. Look, a big portion of the sky blocked out, right? Look at this, taken through a telescope very recently, right? Pretty obvious what we're looking at, right? And if we take a look right here, check out this. And this is wild right here. This is really wild. Let's go to Planet X News real quick. This is going to blow you away, guys. And you can even see, look, Albanian earthquake kills 11, injures 325, multiple aftershocks, right? I've never seen anything like this. Check this out.
Gentlemen, earlier this morning in my day-to-day routine, checking the photographs, checking SEO, basically monitoring the sun. As I was doing that this morning and going over some data.
Let me make sure you guys can hear this right here. What you're about to see is absolutely phenomenal.
Data on these coronagraphs, I saw something that I have never, ever seen before. At this point in time, right now, I can't explain it. I can only tell you and show you what it looks like. And
Check
what it looks like to me is massive lightning bolts coming from the 11 o'clock position from our sun.
And what have we been seeing at
extending
that
out
position?
Possibly hundreds of
Big red
thousands of
planet.
miles. It seems to be some type of massive electrical discharge. Now, in the background of some of these video clips, you'll see what seems to be a little planet moving far, far in the distance in the background. Well, that is Venus. And I don't think Venus has anything to do
Definitely
with
not.
what I just recorded coming from our sun.
Check this out,
To
guys.
me, there is only one explanation, and you know what that is. Later on this evening,
Boom. Check it out right here, guys. Look at this big electrical discharge. The sun's right here, the black dot in the middle. Look. Oh my gosh. Wow. 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 We're seeing electrical discharges coming from the sun, the magnetic field going crazy. You've seen it through a telescope, several days, different people through a telescope. You've seen it in pictures. I mean, there is no denying it. This is the undeniable proof of Planet X, Nibiru, right? And even our good friend, Rap the News, has just posted a video showing you that it jives biblically as well.
So, is this God remembering his covenant with us in the clouds, like he said? There's your rainbow. There's your big planet behind it. Exodus 13:21. And the Lord went before them by day in a pillar of a cloud. This is not a usual cloud, because clouds don't do this right here. And inside that cloud, it is packed with lights. And these lights are sprinkling all over the place. No one on this earth can explain what that is. Could it be what God is saying in the Bible? Exodus 13:21. And the Lord went by night in a pillar of fire to give them light. Now, you got the police looking at this light that's sent by God right here. You know, is the guidance more spiritual now instead of a walk? Like before, they were walking and guiding themselves by the pillar of fire that we seeing in the sky. I do believe. But now is the walk spiritual, that when we who have vision and eyes to see that pillar of fire in the sky, which I told everybody is planet hell, is a fire in the sky, you know, does it give us more guidance where we can walk straight on our path? The Lord looked unto the host of the Egyptians through the pillar of the fire of the clouds and troubled the Egyptians. Exodus 14:24. And an eye appeared in the sky, people. Early in the morning. In a cloud of fire, pretty much. Just right there. No one, like I said in the last one, can explain these things. But we're reading things that sound similar to what we are seeing, you know. And people will say you're reaching because they hate the truth. They don't want the end to come. Psalm 64:7. But God shall shoot at them with an arrow, suddenly shall they be wounded. And then we're seeing something that looks like an arrow, you know, a fiery arrow in the sky, you know what I mean? It's like an archer's bow. And then I said, that thing has meteorites in it, and it is right on the horizon. It is not above us right here. You know, could that be the arrow that he's talking about? So just like I said, here you got the cops surrounding God's light, you know, trying to figure out what it is, as if they could do something about it. As if, huh?
As if, and they can't do nothing about it. No man can, right? And no man knows the date or the time as well, right? That's also something that we do know to be true, right? We can sit here and we can speculate about, you know, the who, the what, the when, all these different questions. But all we can truly do is be prepared, That's all we can really do. And spiritual preparedness is the only thing that actually matters when all of this is said and done. You can dig a hole in the ground 60 feet deep, and in case you forgot, right, men are calling for the mountains to fall on them and hide them from the face of the Lord. So it's probably not going to do you any good, right? It's all about what's in your heart. It's all about what your spirit is, the weight of your spirit, right? Are you of the light, or are you darkness? Are you of love or of something else, you know? And I think that in the end, that's all that truly matters. I think all roads lead to Rome in this case. It doesn't matter what religion you expound and, you know, what walk of life you come from. It matters the substance of your character, the substance of your being. So today, you know, being Thanksgiving, I think we all have something to be very thankful for, right? And if this isn't a stark reminder that you should be thankful for every day is a gift, right? Every connection that you have is a gift. All those connections of love, that's what this life is all about. That's the whole purpose of this place, I believe, is to love one another, is to connect, to grow, and to know the Father, and it doesn't matter what this holiday actually was built on. It matters what it means to you today, right? So I think we should all just be giving thanks just for the beautiful gift of life and giving thanks for one another, because we are the biggest blessing on this place, right? The biggest blessing to the planet Earth is people. It is people. It's the number one resource, and it is sad to see how we treat one another, how we do one another, and how we can leave each other in the dark, knowing that something like this is heading down the pipe. It's a tragedy. It really is. But we can only do what we can do. Those that are seeking, they will find. I promise you that. And the ones that want to bury their heads in the sand and they don't want to know the truth, they won't. They'll live in ignorance. And we'll see if it's bliss when that day comes. I have a feeling it won't be. So I want to, just thank everyone for joining me. Shane LeBlanc, Holy Rebellion of the Wise, Davina Severn, sorry. I don't even know that. Something 12. Sorry, I suck at reading these. Fred, Deo, thank you guys. I appreciate all you guys that are in the chat. I love you all. And I just want everybody to, have a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your time with your families. Food, festivities, loved ones. If you guys want to, I got some good guests coming up. January 6th, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Magenta Pixie. I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with Magenta Pixie. She channels and does some really cool stuff. It's really out there, and it's going to be super interesting. Also, Scientific Lee will be coming later in January sometime. We got a couple of dates he still hasn't chose from, but we have agreed to do an interview with Scientific Lee as well. So them are some really cool guests that are up and coming. I believe we're going to get a Laura Scene in January as well, so there should be some really cool guests coming up. Like I said, the PayPal is down currently, so we might have to take a week or two off during December. So just, if you guys can support, that would really go a long way and help out. We're at the end of the month starting a new one. The best ways to do that right now, Venmo.com/Best Damn Podcast. I believe they're even made by PayPal or whatever. You just need an email, debit card, Venmo.com/Best Damn Podcast, or Patreon.com/Best Damn Podcast. And that's the same thing. A lot of people don't want to do Patreon because they don't want to be a monthly pledge, but you can do a one-time donation there. You just put in your own amount, and it's called a lifetime pledge. One time, pretty simple. So Patreon.com/Best Damn Podcast. And also on Facebook, we have a fundraiser there. All the links are in the description. Plus, they are pinned in the comment section. So if you guys would, we definitely need your support right now. So help out and show your love. If you guys have pictures, emails, all that good stuff, therealbestdampodcast@gmail.com. Make sure you join the Discord group, the Facebook group, all that. Share on your favorite social media. Give us a thumbs up or whatever if you enjoyed this. Thumbs down if you didn't. Make sure to leave a comment. And I appreciate all you guys, all that you do, and I appreciate you taking the time to watch. Happy Thanksgiving to all you guys, and I love you. Love you all from the bottom of my heart. Remember, Jesus is the truth, the way, and the life. I love you. God bless you guys, and I'll see you next time. Y'all have a good one.